So it's 3:30 during the middle of the day and I can't bother to get out of bed. But I'm liking this pillow because it reminds me of lying on a beach, but you can't actually see it when you're lying on the pillow. You only see it when you're making the video. So that's an incentive to make the video so that I can see the pillow. And it's matching this thing that I'm wearing, which is, yeah, it's just making me want to go sunbathe on a beach, a nice beach. But anyway, I think that's how, I think I've got an idea for how I want, because I was thinking about the songs. So I want a website with the profiles of all the 300, although it might be a bit more than 300 now. I don't know how many it is exactly, but whatever the names are that are on my list, I want a page of them. On that list, they should have one page that just gives a brief sort of summary of their character, and then there should be a list of all their songs, and I think the songs should be individually. Right now, people are focused on singles and albums, and I just think that's irrelevant. I think it should be in order of what the songs, I think it should be in date order. If you want to click on the song and have the video pop up and then there should be some sort of information about the video, you know, I think there should be two types of information. There should be an information talking about what the songs could be saying. You know, I've been posting on Facebook all the songs that I've been, that I think I'm inspiring or think that my higher self has shown me at a certain time to say certain things. I don't know if you should bother going into details about all the specific things that I've said, but you should take what I've said and then try and summarize it in a way that doesn't make it personal to the conversation that I've having. You know, if I've said something about a song because I've just watched another song and I'm kind of like linking it to that song that I've just watched, you can take all that away. Just make it, look at what I've said about the song, what I'm trying to say through the song. Think about only the positives. I think a lot of the songs that I'm focusing on, I say only the negative. But yeah, if you want to do something like that, so you have the song and then at the top you have like a link that can show what could be said. I don't know how you'd word it, but there should be a link to the song, a link to the video that explains it. There should be a link to the video that pops up the lyrics. So yeah, these are so all the videos, I don't know how you're going to work this, but all the music videos, there will be lyrics, so a button to press so you can see all the lyrics, a button to press so that you can see a sort of explanation as to what my higher self could be saying through it, but link it only to the positive name. I guess in 3.5 years after, so in 2008 Christmas, I think that's going to be when it is, you could then add, a link that says all the negative things, and then after the 7 years you'll have to change it again so that it says both positive and negative. I think that's how I'm going to kind of play these things. Some of them, they do represent both their positive and their negative names. Some of them mostly seem to focus on the negative only. Hope and Britney Spears, I think, mostly focus on the negative sides of their name. And there's some that don't really link to the positive sides, and likewise with Ludacris, I think he does, his positive name is an angel who can teach things, and I think he can teach things, but only in a sort of inverted sense, and you can't really say that because you're not supposed to say that part, basically, even though that is part of his positive side. You have to kind of give a deceptive positive side, where you just say, my chick bad, my chick good, my chick do stuff that your chick wish you could. I love that line, but yeah, I think you're just, you could make it sound like that's supposed to be talking about me, or maybe Nicki Minaj, and promoting her as being far more powerful and evidence. I think you should link to her, but yeah, I don't know what you would say on this. I need a ghostwriter. I'm not going to be writing all this stuff. There's way too many songs. But yeah, that's how I would focus the songs not as albums but as individual songs. And you can just have all the list of the songs, and then you can have you know how when you're buying something, like buying something on eBay, it says, do you want to list lowest to highest or nearest? You have to select how you want what order you want them to be. So I would have the songs, don't bother with the albums. If you want to have another link that shows the albums and has them in order of album, so this is the album that came out in this year, this is the album that came out in this year, this is the album that came in the, and you can have another link that has all the singles that were released, and then you can have another link that links, actually that's actually quite a good idea. That's just come into my head now, but so yeah, I think you should have the main profile where you just talk about the act, and then on that page have different options of ways to look at their song catalogue. One way would be to just have all the songs in date order, which I think is the one that should be the most seen, because I hate the fact that you've changed all the dates, because it's like I've been climbing up a ladder, but you've taken the ladder away and chopped it up into little bits and have just kind of like put it in a random order, and it doesn't feel right or natural or anything. But whatever the dates are you've created, if it's causing me grief and problems, it's probably going to cause other people grief and problems, and I don't care, because this is what you did to me. So whatever you've called the dates as the dates that it was made, stick with that, and then have all the songs in order of date. So you can have the date, how I'm creating the summary calendar, where I have the date, the birthday of the singer, the name, and that. So you could do it similar to that, only you'll have the date on when that song was released, state if it's with anyone, collaboration with this, and then or maybe put the name of the song first, and then whoever else it's with this person, and then have a button that's either a buy button if they haven't bought it, and you can say bought if you have bought it, and then when you click on the bought option, it can pop, the video can pop up. The video that pops up will have other options that you can add. So you could go to a comment. They could have a comment side where the comments of all the people who've commented on that video can pop up. You could also have a lyrics, a button that connects to the lyrics that pops up a screen or a box that has the lyrics of the song, so that you can listen to the song and watch it. Or you can have the lyrics actually show up on the song itself. The lyrics on the song itself probably is the better option. But yeah, if you want to, sometimes the lyrics go very fast and you don't really have enough time to analyze the sentences, hence why you need it on a section. You need a section where you can actually see the lyrics. I know on YouTube sometimes they do that. If you scroll down, you can actually see the lyrics, but yeah, that's not good, because as soon as you scroll down you can't see the imagery, and sometimes it's nice to see the sort of imagery whilst reading the lyrics. And then you can have a sort of analyst. What's it called? An analyst? I don't know what it's called. A word where you analyze the lyrics. You can call it just analyzing box or something. Analytics. The analytics. I don't know what I don't know what you can call that button, but you can press it and it has the sort of analyzing of that song or what it could be saying. And I don't know. I think and there could be and that you could even have a second link. Say if there's a documentary about that song, or if there's some video that promotes it, maybe you could add a link or a place where you can see things like that. And then you need to, of course, have details of the song, so how much money went into the song. If you want to exaggerate things, you can do, but yeah, it would be a profile that kind of just bigs up the songs. But yeah, I think there probably should be list of albums and a list of singles. But I think the main one should be focused on the songs, but there should also be a way of organizing it, so you can say like videos only. Say because I find that the songs that have music videos are probably far better than the ones that don't have music videos. So when you have the list of all the songs in order, you can list it in order, in date order. So at the top you'll have in date order, and then all the songs will pop up in date order, saying whether or not you've bought them or not on the side. And then if you want to listen to it in, say that all the songs that have music videos to it, and so that could be maybe there's like a button where you press and it shows all the only show. Maybe you can have a button on the side say show only videos of music, the music show only songs with music videos, and then you can click that button, and that will show only the songs that have the music video, and then you can change the order of that to make it look like it's in order of most popular, so that's the ones that get the most amount of downloads, or you can have it in order of most valuable. I don't know if that's most valuable is probably quite a good one, which is the ones that have, or most money made. I don't know what order, what you could call that one, but yeah, so if you sell 300 or 100 copies at 3p, you've technically just made £3, I think, if my maths is correct. But if you sell 4 copies of a song at £1, then you made £4, hence that one actually is most money made or something, in order of most money made. What's the coolest way of saying that? But I like the idea of that being like a kind of competition, and yeah, but it will only, this pricing thing will only work once the singers are elevated to a point where they see themselves as being kind of, once the world sees these as being angels or messages from God or songs that have sort of a spiritual link to the spirit or to different character names or to the angels, you know, as soon as they've got that status, the songs would be people would be willing to pay. You know, if you can only listen to one of the singers' songs if they pay money, then you can't just be like, oh, I'll just listen to someone else. You can't do that. And I don't like YouTube at all, but I feel like that would be that's the best platform for people to express themselves. But yeah, I think that you have to be a bit more loose, I think, that's what Facebook did. Facebook there was one post where I was talking about my sister's husband, and that post for some reason just came off and they took it down, and I don't really know why. You know, I know that I shouldn't talk about my sister's husband, but at the same time I don't understand why not, because he's causing my family a ton of problems by getting like 4 restraining orders every year in a row, because he's determined not to have my mum go anywhere near him and is refusing to talk to my sister, and he's doing all this whilst occasionally sending her emails about how amazing he is as a father, when he's not an amazing father. A father that refuses to let the mother see their child and then goes and writes smarmy text messages to the mother of their child saying how useless and pathetic they are and how they're doing so much better without you, and how it's not your fault that you have a mental disorder, it's just who you are, or something like that. You know, his text messages were pretty revolting, and then for him to say that whilst claiming to be a great father, I think it's disgusting. And if I say nasty things about him on Facebook, I think it's completely understandable. But yeah, it is true that I feel like there could be a spiritual reason as to why he's pushing away from her. I don't know. But I know that I shouldn't get involved or say lots. So on one hand, it asked me questions about how often my posts are taken down from Facebook, or how the monetizing on Facebook is. And I really wanted to actually write quite a lot of things, but it was only just, do you think this was okay, or do you think this was not? It was like yes or no questions on the survey, and the survey didn't really explain much, because on one hand it's like I can understand maybe why I shouldn't post, because I've got millions of people, I might have loads of people watching, but on the other hand I don't understand why you took it down, because I don't really know what part of this conversation shouldn't I have said, and I couldn't explain that in the survey. They were just asking, is it fair or not? And I was like, well, maybe I don't know if it was fair. But anyway, that survey made me think there's nothing wrong with Facebook. I have no problem with the monetizing. I'm even surprised that they asked me that question, because I don't think, it's very rare for Facebook to take stuff of mine down. But YouTube, oh my gosh, they're doing it all the time. The number of things that I've had taken down from YouTube, or the number of emails that I get from videos being monetized. I don't even know what monetize means. What the hell does monetize mean? So there's people watching my video? Are there people watching my video if I only get 5 hits? So I'm confused about why all my videos are being monetized, and yet I've only seemed to have got like 5 or 10 hits on all my videos. It's like, that doesn't sound like it's being monetized. That sounds like it's being ignored. And then some of them have just because you can have like a very long video with a tiny bit of copyright in it, and suddenly it's like, oh, these are not available for sale. I'm not making a penny from any of the YouTube videos I make. I wouldn't even know how to attempt to make money off them. I don't know what you have to press. The thought of even thinking to make an attempt to try and make money out of YouTube, I just can't do it for some reason, and it actually stresses me thinking about it. So I'm not going to, but it stresses me mostly because I'm concerned as to why I've only got 10, 20 hits. You know, if I'm going to be making half a penny on each hit I get, well, that's going to be like 4p every month or something, which is ridiculous and not worth chasing up after. But Facebook asked me if I think this monetization or all this stuff is fair, and I'm like, what are you talking about? You're not doing any removal of my stuff. YouTube on the other hand is way overdoing it, way pissing me off with it, and I think they're pissing off a lot of people because a lot of people are scared to talk. That's one of the questions asked. Am I scared to post things on Facebook? I guess a little bit. But at the same time, I'm thinking about all the things that I posted about how much I wanted to murder everyone and stuff, and I'm posting all of that on there, and very few of it seems to come down. In fact, the one or two posts that have been taken down are usually the ones that aren't actually that bad. Yeah, with YouTube, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on, because I just, there's all sorts on there. There's absolutely all sorts on there, and if I'm insulting everyone, I just feel like I'm doing it because I'm watching people just insult everyone, and therefore, why are some things getting monetized? Why are you focusing on? There's another thing that keeps coming into my head, which is Elon Musk said you've got to be careful about teaching AI to be politically correct, because by doing that, all you're doing is teaching people to lie. And I would say that same thing, but I would imply it to humans. Humans are like human AI. They're human robots, idiots that think they're alive when I think a lot of them just, I don't know, stupid and aren't really alive. And teaching these people, teaching humans to be politically correct, is actually teaching them to lie. You know, you can have a bunch of racist thoughts, a bunch of horrible ideologies, and saying that you're not allowed to post it, okay, it's a good idea, because they shouldn't be posting it because they're going to be encouraging other people to feel the same way. But technically, if their thoughts are the problem, these thoughts are actually, it's like a community thing. You know, racism isn't just a baby saying I'm going to grow up to be racist. No, it starts from the mind, and I know why it starts. It starts because when you were all animals, you know, the bluebird was against the sparrow. I'm a bluebird, I'm better. No, I'm a sparrow, I'm better. And okay, they can die, and then the souls can come back. I'm now a sparrow. No, sparrows are better. And then this one's like, no. So I know it's like that, but this is the stem of racism. The stem of racism actually comes from when souls were in animal form. You were almost taught and programmed to be racist. You know, bluebirds think that they're better, and sparrows think that they're better, and the same with hyenas versus wild wolves. I'm better. No, I'm better. And you know, it's just competition between different groups of always thinking you're better, and therefore teaching people to be politically correct when going online. You know, you think you're not spreading the hate and stuff, but at the same time you're not actually getting rid of the problem, because a lot of the problem and people's wrong ideologies or wrong mindsets actually stems from the soul. And when humans were animals, when souls are in animal form, they are born racist. And people say a baby's not born racist. No, I would argue that a baby is born racist, because that baby would have had a past life, and whether they were a human in the past, you know, if they were a human that haven't been alive for 100 years, then they were almost definitely racist. And so even though they're a baby and they haven't really gained consciousness of their brain, I do think that human children are actually born undeveloped. You know, when you see an animal being born, you can say that soul is awake, because they can stand up within sometimes a couple of minutes of being birthed, and you can be so impressed with how a lot of animals have so much skill, and they look like adults almost. They look like miniature versions of adults, and you can see that within the first few hours of them being born. and it's you can't say that with humans. Human babies, I feel, are actually born 2 years premature, and there is a soul inside them, yes, but the soul hasn't woken up. The soul, a baby can't even roll over for 3 months. I mean, that's pretty, like, why can't a baby roll over for 3 months? And yet, if a giraffe is born, they learn to stand up straight away. So what is this? And I think it's just that the human brain actually takes a long time to form, but yeah, because the human brain takes a long time to form, any racism or any thoughts at all that they have, they probably wouldn't actually start thinking them. Like, if I was to look at myself when I was 2 years old, I don't even see myself in there. I don't know what I see. I see some sort of, I don't know, like if I was extremely, extremely drunk and passed out and sort of walking around, I could probably look at these pictures. If I got so drunk that I have no memory of the next night, that's that's what I see when I see a 2-year-old of myself, like something that's me, something that's kind of there, but something that's not really conscious or aware or anything. And but yeah, when they get to 2 or 3 and their brain is formed enough, they do start gaining consciousness. And when they start gaining this consciousness, they will start remembering who they were in their past life, or not they won't actually remember it, but they would have a sense of character, a sense of self, a sense of awareness. And this is where the sort of hate starts to build up, because it's how they were in their past life, and they are kind of reliving, I guess, how they were, only under different circumstances. And therefore teaching people to be politically correct can actually just be masking the truth. People are brainwashed into believing that they love Christ, and I 100% know that is not true. And therefore, by teaching people to love Christ, when I 100% know that's not the truth of how they actually feel, because I'm Christ and they don't know anything about me, and even if they did know anything about me, they'd probably just insult me for different aspects or ways, or they'd see me as being far less important. I think partly why they love Christ and see Christ as being an amazing figure is because they are just building up some sort of fake view in their head and are just believing lies. But part of teaching people to worship or to value political correctness is denying how they actually feel. English people particularly are very much like, just be polite, be nice. And I want to do another walk, but they have these deals where it's usually like £20 where you pay for the coach, £20, and the walk is all free, but because the coach is about £300 to run, they have to charge like £20 for the coach to be able to afford the petrol and the driver and stuff like this. But they've been doing these deals recently where it's only £5, and on part of it I felt like they were doing it for me, to encourage me to go, but twice now in a row I haven't been able to go because too many people want to go when it's £5, and therefore this deal was to help people get out more. I mean, that's why they said that they were doing this £5 deal. They were charging £5 for these walks to try and encourage more people to do the walk. But because it's only £5, I can't actually get on the walk, and it kind of like just reminded me of, you can try and help something. We're going to give you this money to help so that more people go on the walk, when really too many people have gone on the walk and it doesn't actually work for everyone. Because now I can't seem to get on the walk because you need to sign up like 4 weeks in advance before the tickets run out. And teaching people to be politically correct might help people, but if it's not how they're actually feeling, then yes.